hey Brandon, what was that John Muir Trail thing that you wanted to do again? And then he explained it, and I guess I said everyone would do it, because here we are.
Take it as I can, long road less traveled, picking up stories along the way.
Today is August 18th. It's our 6th wedding anniversary. We are celebrating by going on the John Muir Trail.
Every step, another turn now.
I'm really excited to see some of the most beautiful country in the world and be unplugged for 2.5 weeks and be able to share a really life-changing experience with Jennifer. And I think it's going to be awesome and hard and wonderful all at the same time.
The highest mountain, they're picking up stories along the way.
Didn't sleep so well last night. Very excited about this. I woke up at about 1:50 in the morning and saw the full moon over the valley from our room. It was really pretty, but it was impossible to get back to sleep.
Forever changed.
I'm the trip leader.
That's right. A little over 6 miles in, I think we're up about 3,000 feet in elevation, and this is the junction to if you are going up Half Dome. So we're having our first lunch, tortillas with almond butter, maple, and honey. So a lot of calories and sugars to get us another about 6-7 miles to Sunrise Camp for our first day.
This is my friend Crazy Legs Muir. He comes along to help make me feel safe, except I learned today he has a big fear of lightning. Because we got caught in 2 different storms and he chickened out and hid. So we're gonna be tough together. We got into camp. Brandon set up the tent and I went to go cook our dinner, and we just got monsooned on. So a river went under our tent and our dinner is sitting outside, probably really soggy. So we're gonna go check it out. But exciting first day on the John Muir Trail.
Day 1 was so exciting with 13 miles and over 5,000 feet of elevation gain, not to mention Jennifer's favorite hailstorm and lightning storm.
Boo.
We decided to wake up and do about 16.5 miles today. This morning it was looking pretty bleak. The hail last night was probably 1/2 inch in diameter. It was coming down real hard, and we talked to several people on the trail who had to wait it out for 2 to 3 hours. It lasted only about 20 minutes for us, but woke up and there were meadows that were completely filled with ice and snow.
Today was really beautiful. We jumped in Cathedral Lake, and a lot of it was downhill today, so that felt awesome.
Refreshing.
Good.
Cleaner than you, though.
You are. It's Cathedral Peak. There's the lake and some laundry. We had bacon cheeseburger and soda and Twinkies in our resupply and salad, and the post office had our bucket, so that feels good.
Got probably about 15 pounds of food for the next 3 days.
And we didn't take the shuttle.
And we didn't take the shuttle. We did not cheat. And he started cramping up a little bit, but a little bit of stretching and Advil does wonders. The bugs have not been a problem at all. Altitude has not been a problem at all. The food has been fantastic and plentiful. And all our gear has been really good. So we're thankful for that. But as long as it's dry, I think we've got no complaints. Even though it was only about 10 miles today, it did not feel like a short day. We woke up and got on the trail early, went through a beautiful meadow, and then switchbacks up, and then a beautiful lake that was at about 10,000 feet. was one of the most beautiful things we had seen. Continued up another 1,000 feet to Donahue Pass, where we had the greatest lunch of all time.
We had tortillas with pepperoni and aged Gouda cheese. Brandon's very excited about that. It was really good. We left Yosemite National Park, and we're now in the Ansel Adams Wilderness. You could see Mammoth Mountain when we came down from Donahue Pass. We saw what looks to be a big fire somewhere in Yosemite.
Encountered wind. It was really windy and cold, but beautiful on the other side.
I hear noises at night and think that animals are trying to get into our tent. Best thing that we did was buy a pair of dollar earplugs from Rite Aid and slept like a baby. So it is Friday afternoon, and I'm standing in Shadow Lake. It's been a really beautiful day with lots of lakes. We left this morning around 6:45, I think, from our campsite, and went up over Island Pass and then down 1,000 Island Lakes, which was something Brandon and I really wanted to see, and it did not disappoint.
Hello. So, if you want to know what the John Muir Trail looks like from my perspective, it's pretty much like this. Fortunately, every so often you pick up your head and you stop and you turn around and you see that. Welcome to Garnet Lake.
Then we saw the gem lakes, Ruby and Garnet and Emerald. We went down 1,100 feet, which sounds awesome until your knees start barking at about 500 feet and you still have 600 feet to go. And then we are stopped here for lunch. Tortillas, peanut butter, Nutella. Brandon just stripped down and went in the lake. I'm just standing with my feet in it because it's a little bit cold. My forehead's itchy and my face was sad. My forehead's itchy and I feel so
A lot of meadows and smaller lakes that might not get the same fanfare, but were equally pretty. 16 miles, even though we didn't do any kind of passes or dramatic inclines, can make for some sore feet. Our muscles are good. Effects of altitude, we don't have any. Joints are a little tired, but really it's kind of like bruised feet. Jennifer says it's like walking around Disneyland for an entire day in flip-flops. You just have bruises on top of bruises. But nothing a good night of sleep can't fix.
Hello, today is Saturday, it's day 5, and the reason we're both in this video is because we have a special guest video recordist, Mr. Andrew Thomas Comstock. Yay! Today we woke up early, about a mile north of Devils Postpile. Brandon and I hauled our butts.
It was like mid-30s. It was
cold.
not warm.
We hauled up to the top of Devils Postpile because you can see the hexagon shapes of the lava formations, which is neat. We passed some freezing tourists on the way, and
last time I was at Devils Postpile, I learned the Loya song, and Jennifer will demonstrate now.
Loya Hunga, Loya Hunga. I'm gonna stop because my Chinese is bad and I'll sound racist. Okay, that's Gung Gung taught him that at Devil's Postpile. So then I left Devil's Postpile and met Andrew Thomas Comstock and Amy Teresa Wong at Reds Meadow. And Reds Meadow was a really cool place. It had a restaurant where we got to sit down and have breakfast. And we got eggs and pancakes and bacon and really good hash browns. And I got a glass of milk and Brandon got orange juice. And I had a sip of Amy's hot chocolate. It was excellent.
Also had plumbing. And that was awesome. Washing hands with hot water, doing other things, washing clothes, not in a river. A all pretty excellent.
It was excellent. Then we went to the store there and picked up our resupply bucket, which came, and we left Amy Wong with some extra stuff because we just have too many snacks. There's only so much trail mix and beef jerky you could eat. But the only thing Amy had to carry home the extra snacks in was the orange 5-gallon paint bucket from Home Depot that we had gotten the resupply in. So we sent her home with a paint bucket, but first she wanted to stop at Devils Postpile and see it, so she took the shuttle and walked around Devils Postpile with a paint bucket.
It's true.
Thanks, Amy. Appreciate it. Oh, she made us cookies too. Heath bar chocolate chip. Delicious.
We saw a lot of people at Reds Meadow that we had seen on the trail, many of which were not doing as well as we were, so that was good, even though we have some sore feet and ankles and other things. Seeing people having to go to Mammoth for foot repair or to the hotel because they're just quitting, that felt
feel
good.
Better. I felt bad for them, but it made us feel better about us.
So we had Andrew Thomas Comstock join us for a lovely 3-mile jaunt up a mountain, and then we did another probably 5 miles after that. Got to Deer Creek, which I think in mile and a half was really difficult to cross or something, but
it was a puddle.
Not so much. But it's the last water for the next 6 miles, so everybody and their mother was camping there, and so we filled up our water and threw our packs on with all of our food and now water, and so probably over 30 pounds, and trekked out to this beautiful place where no one has passed us, and
we have it all to ourselves.
And shaved off probably 2 miles from tomorrow's itinerary, so instead of 13 miles we'll probably do 11.
The book calls it the most boring stretch of the JMT, but if this is the most boring stretch, pretty good trail.
Yeah.
We're talking a lot, so we're gonna go.
Deuces.
Good night.
Today's Sunday. We've been hiking for almost 7 days. Wait, I can't do math.
6 days.
6 days, yeah, so again, almost 7.
Almost 7.
After we got up and got going, where'd you go after that?
We went to 2 different lakes. Purple Lake. Jennifer made a song about Purple Lake, which she will demonstrate now.
Purple Lake, Purple Lake.
Then we went to Lake Virginia. I want to get to Lake Virginia. We
went swimming in Lake Virginia with Kami, and that was the first lake that Kami got to go swimming in, and it just was sunny and nice. We went swimming and we're laying out on the rocks like lizards. There was not a lot of downtime for us to enjoy lakes and things like that, so I think that was a special moment.
All 3 of us jumped in, but only Kami rocked the underwear and hiking boots look with the knee brace.
And the hat.
And the hat. That was easily the best view of the day.
Hello! Tonight we are going to cook tomato pesto pasta. I made all the recipes for dinner from the Backpacker Cooking Cookbook, and this is one of them. One of the 4 we're rotating through. Cooking using the jet boil. Once the water boils, pour in the pasta, turn the heat down, swirl it around, put the lid on and let it absorb it, and then dinner served. After a few minutes of boiling and sitting, we have tomato pesto pasta. It is delicious. Want some?
I would like to say that I appreciate your Bob Barker microphone here. It's quite nice.
It's Monday morning, day 7, and we are above 10,000 feet at beautiful Squaw Lake, and we are about to head up Silver Pass. I think we have about a mile and a half to the top of Silver Pass.
The plan was to wake up early and go about 3 miles, but about 1,600 feet in elevation up Silver Pass, which was our second major pass after Donahue. Really beautiful, a lot of lakes up there. We looked for the Silver Pass sign. there's a picture of my parents from, we think, 1975 at Silver Pass, and we tried to find it but couldn't find the sign, so either it wasn't Silver Pass or the sign is no longer there, but the photo is still in my hat. After going up and over Silver Pass, we went down some pretty brutal switchbacks. It was hot, rocky, hard on the feet.
Kami brought lemonade. Thank you so much. Lemonade tasted so good.
Saw a ranger, talked to her for a little while, and we were pretty glad that she checked our permits because it was a pain to get them, so I was glad that someone actually checked them. So we went down, had a really nice leisurely lunch by river, and kept going, and we got to this campsite that we thought we were going to stay at around 2:30ish, and decided to keep going. The keep going part was about 3 miles of straight up switchbacks, which is why we're at this somewhat impromptu campsite instead of a relatively leisurely 11-mile day. We did a tough 14, which will hopefully pay off in 2 days when we're at Muir Trail Ranch. End of week 1, and one last shot of our camp. Say goodnight, Jennifer.
Good night, Jennifer.
Say goodnight, Kami.
Night, Tommy.
Hello and welcome to the Tuesday night interview with Mr. Andrew Thomas Comstock on his last night on the trail. Mr. Comstock, please tell us about what we did today.
We did some hiking. Hiking is just, you start walking and then you don't stop until your feet are too tired to walk anymore.
Did we go over any passes today?
We did. Jennifer got a little scared, but it was good. We went over Selden Pass. It's very pretty. It was probably the prettiest pass I went on because, I only went on 2. There were lakes on both sides, so it was very nice.
Can you address this rumor of a pants splitting incident?
I have no comment.
Very interesting. Can you describe the challenge of swimming across the lake today for $250,000?
So, right after Selden Pass, there was a large lake, and it was very deep, which means it was very cold. We assume it was very cold because we did not touch it because it was far away. We were tired. Brandon had decided, in one of the many hypotheticals that we went through, decided to ask me what it would cost for me to jump in the lake and swim from a nice sandy part all the way to the other side and back. And I said that I thought $250,000 would be hard to pass up. Brandon thought that wasn't enough money, but Jennifer agreed that for $250,000 Brandon would do it.
None of us did it. It was too cold. Can you describe your favorite meal on the trail?
My favorite meal on the trail. I actually think it was tonight. I had some macaroni and cheese, and then we put bacon in it. And a quick summary, bacon, it makes everything better, especially delicious macaroni and cheese.
Any parting thoughts as we look out on this beautiful view on your final evening on the John Muir Trail, at least for now?
Get your animals spayed and neutered.
Have a good night. Back to you in the studio.
We're here on Tuesday, and Brandon and Jen are about to cross the most dangerous crossing they have ever done in their lives. I'm here for play-by-play. Bum, bum, bum! Jennifer goes over. She's making good progress. Double pull form. Little lacking today, but she's making good speed. This is gonna be the dangerous part. Oh, a rock moved. She's wiggling around. If she falls in the water, I'm gonna laugh. Overall, she's doing very good, very strong. Her form is coming together. I think she just needs a little bit of a warm up. I don't know what that is. That's not that great. Brandon just showing us how it's done until he's showing off. Let's be honest here. That was just not that great. But the pirouette was impressive.
This is a 100-mile dance. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah!
we do complete the JMT and we watch these videos sitting in an air-conditioned room on a comfy couch with a big glass of lemonade, it'll be important to remember how hard it was and be proud of our accomplishment. Today was hard. Woke up at the top of a mountain basically, and we were all sad because this was Kami's last day, and we headed down switchbacks for about 3+ miles, and you might think that down is good. Down hurts the feet probably more than going up, and for me the balls of my feet are particularly sore, and so it wasn't a great start to the morning, but we got down there. We hit Kami's 50-mile mark, which was good.
Andrew comes to hike 50 miles. Yeah! Round of applause.
We found our way across a stream to a natural hot spring. We got to sit in the hot spring and relax, and that was definitely a high point. We went then to Muir Trail Ranch and got a bit of a taste of civilization. The problem with Muir Trail Ranch is civilization is reserved for those people who are staying the night. And so for Jennifer and me, we got to see what plumbing was like, we got to see what internet was like, we got to see what mattresses might be like, and we were even tempted by dinner, which I think was barbecued chicken, tri-tip, garlic mashed potatoes, lemonade, all sorts of things that we would probably kill for, quite literally. So after saying goodbye to Kami, who smartly enough got to stay at Muir Trail Ranch, and as we speak is probably eating some of that delicious food, and thanks for the use of the bathroom, by the way, Mr. Comstock.
He snuck us in.
We then put on our packs, which were loaded up with 8 days worth of supplies, because that was our last resupply before Whitney. So when we woke up and were going down the switchbacks, Jennifer and I were probably easily under 20 pounds. As we left Muir Trail Ranch, we were both easily over 35 pounds, which is a big difference. And the sun came out, it was hot, we had to climb uphill for a little while, it was dusty, and nothing makes sore feet hurt more than going over rocky terrain with an extra 20 pounds on your back. And we still had 6 miles to go, and we went up a beautiful canyon that I wish I had seen more of, because I was concentrating so hard, staring at every single foot placement, because I felt every single foot placement. And this is the first day that I was singing the Coolie song to myself and really just kind of willing myself up the stream till we get to this beautiful campsite. I think, as good as the food has been, this is the 3rd night, I think, out of 9 that we've had cashew curry, and it took a lot for both of us to get that thing down, but we need our calories. So anyway, we're still having a wonderful time. It's absolutely gorgeous. I really look forward to seeing some of the pictures that we took today, which were really just good excuses to rest.
Welcome to the Through Checker game, where we ask them questions about how well they know each other on the first half of the JMT. Jennifer, oops, I'm completely aiming wrong. If I ask, it's very hard to read and ask questions at the same time.
Okay.
If I ask Jennifer, if I ask Brandon, what has been the best campsite in the first half?
What would he say?
Yeah.
I know, it's right here.
I think I'm gonna say the first night, the cliff above with the view of the valley because we got out of the blizzard there.
Brandon?
The one past Deer Creek, which was the first night that we spent with Andrew Comstock. And when we were all hiking along, we all looked at it and immediately knew that was where we were going to stay.
That was a good one.
That's a good one too.
Okay, Brandon.
Yes.
If I asked Jennifer,
Yep.
what food is she most sick of?
Cliff Bars.
Jennifer?
Ding, ding, ding.
Good job, guys. Good job.
I don't like Cliff Bars much before this started.
Okay, Jennifer. If I asked Brandon, who is his favorite trail friend other than Kami?
The military guy who we affectionately named Fuck.
Brandon?
That's the funny answer that I would have said.
Oh!
That I would have said for comedic value, but the one who I actually enjoyed the most is the younger Asian guy with the round sunburned nose, because he's always so friendly and nice.
That's true. That's a technical description of him. We don't know his name. It's not Harold.
The fisherman.
It's not Harold.
One of
it's
the
not
fishermen.
Sherry.
Okay.
Okay, Brandon.
Yep.
If I asked Jennifer, what was the best difference from what you saw in the movie Mile and a Half?
Best difference from our experience?
Yeah.
No snow.
Ding, ding, ding.
I am 2 for 2.
No.
Good job, guys. Good job. Jennifer,
See if you can get one right here.
last question. Last chance to prove you actually know who your husband is.
I don't with that facial hair. I've never met him before.
If I asked Brandon, what was the best surprise piece of equipment?
That he didn't know that he would want, that he really liked.
Yeah.
I feel like he even said.
She doesn't listen to me when I talk.
I actually do. And I was first thinking it was those twist ties, but I don't think it is. Maybe your watch?
The
Brandon?
sun gloves, because I didn't even think about bringing them.
Oh, well, I don't have them, so it's hard for me to judge.
Yeah, but it's for me.
Okay.
Okay, last question.
It's okay.
Jennifer.
You're some weird guy with facial hair that I never met before.
Brandon, if I asked Jennifer, would she rather, for the remainder of this trip, have you shower every other day, or she gets to shower every day?
That's hard.
This is the only question she spent any time thinking about.
I think that she would want to shower every day, but there's part of her that would feel like she's giving me a gift of showering every other day and a gift to herself. So I think that might be what she answered.
Jennifer?
Beach shower every other day.
I am 3 for 3.
That just means I don't have facial hair.
Big winner.
Great questions, Andrew Comstock. Thank you very much.
Yay.
I think they need to get on the trail now, so this concludes the JMT Through Checker game show. Bye.
We've done many hypothetical games to try to figure out who in the den would be best suited for this type of thing. They are the most fun, so here we are. So we had a relatively short day because our packs are still heavy. It was a really good day. As difficult as yesterday was, we slept in a little bit. Sleeping in generally means 6 o'clock. And hiked up through Evolution Valley, which was beautiful and difficult, especially the switchbacks that got us to Evolution Lake, which lived up to its reputation as one of the most beautiful lakes on the John Muir Trail. The drama of the mountains immediately behind this huge lake at high elevation is really quite stunning. And there's nothing like actually experiencing it. It's a little under 11,000 feet and 123 miles along the John Muir Trail. One of the most spectacular things I've ever seen.
It was a very, very tough climb to get up here, but we wanted to eat lunch at Evolution Lake in celebration of grandmother's birthday. Happy birthday, grandmother. The scenery is just amazing. Lunch is pretty good too. Tortillas, pepperoni, Gouda. delicious. Brandon likes making sampler plates, so he made his like that. I like wrapping in burritos.
We are camped outside of Sapphire Lake, which, while beautiful and inviting to jump in, makes my head itch like nobody's business. And you know those cartoons in the classified section that says love is ... and you have two little kids doing something? Love is your wife at 11,000 feet rubbing Vaseline into your scalp because lake water doesn't agree with it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You're probably looking at one of the mountains that surround Sapphire Lake that is named after one of the early pioneers in evolutionary biology. I wish I knew which one that was. But each of the peaks are named after some scientist of 100 years ago or so. There's a Darwin somewhere around here and a Mendel. We are 125 miles in, as amazing as that sounds, and have about a week left. So hopefully
The people going north have way farther to go than we have to go south. Yes! Hi, I'm Crazy Legs Muir, and I ride everywhere in Jennifer's backpack. Today, we left Sapphire Lake around 7:30 and hiked up over Muir Pass. Muir Pass is special because it has a hut on top built in 1930 by the Sierra Club. You're not allowed to sleep there, but it protects you from lightning because it's a wide open pass with nowhere to hide. I like Muir Pass because there's a marmot that steals people's food, but I have special marmot repelling powers so no marmot messed with Jennifer and Brandon's stuff. Then they put me back in the pack and we went down some very rocky stuff. It sort of looked like we were on Mars. And then they dropped the pack on the ground and left me in the dirt while they put their feet in the water, got some fresh water, and ate some lunch that looked pretty good. Time for me to go back in the backpack now. Bye!
Whoa, too close!
I can't see you.
Trust me, I've been out here 11 days. You don't want to be that close to my face.
Okay, well, you would just be the shadow man.
I'll be the shadow man. Well, that's my best luck at this point. Anyway, we really hit our stride. I think our feet are starting to toughen up, and while we have the normal aches and pains, I think that we're really doing well at this point. In fact, we actually went about 3.5 miles further than we had originally planned after going over Muir Pass. As Crazy Legs Muir told you, we went down, and as the book tells us, we are at the lowest elevation we will be until we meet Mr. Gregory Flint at Whitney Portal in a few days. As far as the trail today, there were just really a lot of things that, even though we went really far and really hard, every turn you see something different. The terrain changes, or you see a magnificent waterfall or mountain, or even the beast, a rock monster that has been created along the trail, and we kind of stumbled across, so we were happy about that. Since we're in the tent, I thought it would be a good time to do a little gossiping and tell you about some of the crazy people we've met along the trail. We met a person who I thought was cooking lentils for dinner. Instead, he had some sprouts that he was growing over 3 days in a Nalgene bottle so that he could have fresh microgreens on the trail. We also have a father and daughter combination that seemed to be hot on our heels. Jerry, the machinist from Oregon, has had to pull out. Asian fishermen are now down to 2, having that Harold, I think, has gotten blisters. A young girl without trekking poles, I think I might have mentioned her before. She is nowhere to be seen. We've met, it's either 100 or it's just one person going around in circles. a roughly 60-year-old single white male with white whiskers and the exact same outfit. So anyway, those are some of the characters we've seen on the trail. Needless to say, none of them have joined our merry band of misfits. I guess that just means no one can replace our good friend Connie. We need to get some Z's, and we'll talk to you later. Good night.
Today's Saturday. I believe it's UCLA football kickoff day. Hope you won, Bruins. While the Bruins were playing and you guys were all watching that, we were hiking about 15 miles from Middle Forks Junction up the Golden Staircase, which is not as nice and fancy as it sounds. It's just a lot of rocks. Really, really hard climb.
There's Jennifer finishing up the last part of the Golden Staircase. It's a little bit before 10 a.m. on day 12, and this is considered one of the more difficult climbs of the John Muir Trail. You can see that it's nothing but switchbacks all the way up this mountain. It's about 1,500 feet in elevation, but what a view. And if you look all the way to the back end of that canyon, the lowest point, that's where we slept.
It was really hard. We did that early in the morning. We left before 7 a.m. to start that. We get up to the top and finally see Lower Palisade Lake, which I'm so excited because we hadn't really stopped at all the way up. And we're just gonna stop and rest and put our feet in the lake. And we were hiking with these 3 guys, and they stopped there. So we figured, oh, we could just push on to Upper Palisade Lake because the trail will go right next to it, and then we'll have the lake to ourselves. We push on, and the trail splits away from the lake and starts climbing up, 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 up. And the lake is getting further and further away, and I am getting sadder and sadder and sadder because my chance to put my feet in and rest is slipping away from me. So I plop myself down on a rock and start to tear up, and Brandon said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Disappointment Peak." And he said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "That mountain right there. It's called Disappointment Peak." He said, "No, it's not." And he looked at the map, and it was. It was pretty funny. Couldn't have come at a better time. So I was having a rough time as we climbed around Upper Palisade Lake because we still had to go up and over Mather Pass, and clouds were forming, and there's nothing I like less than going over a pass with storm clouds. And they weren't scary storm clouds, and we were never in any danger, but sometimes when you're at elevation and you've been hiking all day and you're tired and you're dirty and you really have to go to the bathroom, but you hold it most of the day because it's just a pain to go, you just think that one little cloud is going to shoot lightning out and kill you. So I was being dramatic. I was really tired. Brandon sat me down, made me go use the bathroom, and afterwards had me eat some trail mix, get some water, and then we went up and over Mather Pass, which was beautiful. And I wasn't actually as nervous as I have been on other passes. And we got to the top. You could see where we had come from, and then my favorite part is turning south and seeing where we're going. And this time it looked exactly like the moon. It was totally gray rocks with little lakes dotting it. And Brandon pointed out that if we were on the moon, our feet wouldn't hurt us bad because we would be bouncing around. But we shuffled our way down zigzagging switchbacks to this moon-looking lake. Had another nice lunch of pepperoni, cheese, tortillas. Did some laundry, and then we could have camped there because we were actually supposed to camp on Palisades Lake. But we were making such good time and feeling good, and the trail flattened out, so we just kept hiking and hiking and hiking, and then we finally made it. It was over 15 miles into this beautiful campsite, and got in a little bit later than we normally do. Had dinner of oatmeal and hot chocolate because sometimes on a tired day that's all you want. I realized we had come 150 miles, and so as many times as I might tear up or get a little bit scared, that's pretty badass. So I'm proud of us and proud of Brandon, and we've been a good team the whole way. So I'm gonna get in the tent because it's getting dark. Good night. Today was another really tough day, but rewarding. We started off climbing up to Marjorie Lake, where we did some laundry, had a snack. Then we climbed up Pincho Pass, which looked a lot different than Mather Pass because it had a lot of red rock instead of moon rock. maybe more like Mars. Then we got over Pincho Pass and clouds started rolling in, but luckily we had no rain, no problems. And we just ascended in the longest valley ever. It was just down, 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 foot-pounding rocks, down a beautiful, beautiful valley, but it was just long, tough miles. At one point I pulled over and said, I have to put my feet in a stream now. So we did. And then we finally made it to the bottom, to a junction, and then right after the junction was what they call the Golden Gate Bridge of the Sierra, which is a really, really fun, bouncy suspension bridge that they built.
I don't know where the heck we are, but it's been a long day, so this is kind of a fun treat. So join me. There's a reason that you can only go one person at a time, because this thing shakes like a mother. And really, me videoing this is probably not the best idea, because I don't want to fall into the river. Whoa! It's like a bad ride at Universal Studios. All right, I'm gonna see if I can chill this thing out for a sec so I can actually get across without dying. Here is the mighty river we are crossing. Not so mighty. There's Jennifer, she's made it across already. Better not fall through that broken slat. I feel kind of like Indiana Jones here. All right, I think I almost made it. Almost made it. What do you think, Jennifer?
That is a very bouncy bridge. They're not kidding. That some of the slats were held together with like rubber bands. Yikes. Sunday night, the end of day 13, and this is our beautiful campsite. Brandon's in the tent with an itchy head, not feeling so good.
Cathedral Lake is one of the most beautiful areas of the entire JMT, and I just had a rough night. My head was itchy, and poor Jennifer had to pick up the slack, and I was struggling, just kind of feeling like the weak link, and that's not a good place to be. And I think when mentally you're not there, physically everything kind of falls apart, and so you just, it was kind of my woe is me moment. And thankfully Jennifer, through some tough love, said shake it off, and I kind of cursed at myself going up one set of switchbacks and shook it off. It's the top of Glen Pass, middle of day 14, around noontime.
Fourth pass in 4 days.
You can see we are pretty much on top of the world. We're a little tired.
Brandon challenged me to get to the top by noon, and I think I had 7 minutes left when he challenged me.
Yeah.
And it seems so far, but we made it.
Let me just show you what getting up this unholy pile of rock really means. That. Somewhere down there are switchbacks. I don't know where they are, but they basically went straight up and they were sucky. But we did it.
We did it. Only Forester Pass remains.
That's right. And so this also means it's the end of map 3.
Yay, map 3 was terrible. We have 13 maps, Tom Harrison maps, is that what they are?
Yeah.
I like Tom Harrison, I think he makes a good map, but around map 3, he just had a rough time. We were having day 14 burnout.
Yeah,
we feel good.
After 14 days, you're just tired of smelling, you're tired of waking up feeling sore and having to hike up to the top of the earth.
And Amy Wong, I'm still wearing the same pants.
Yeah,
it's kind of gross,
I mean,
but
it's just a little bit of burnout at this point, but wow, what a view, huh?
we're talking to the camera.
I think we're feeling a little loony here on day 14, top of some pass, Glen Pass, whatever it's called.
We're going now.
I think we're gonna go down. Maybe the low oxygen's affecting our brains.
The mules would be they have bells on, and they would be using it to walk back and forth to the river, basically through where we had already set up the tent. So we had to put the tent away, hike up farther, and found actually what turned out to be a really beautiful spot. So it's not so bad. But mule people, you're on my list. I'm writing the National Park Service because I think we got to figure out a solution to this poop problem. We woke up early, climbed up to Forester Pass, which is the last pass before Mount Whitney. It was our 5th pass in 5 days. This was a tough pass because it just went on forever. Before you're even at the pass, you're just climbing, and several thousand feet in the last couple miles, 3,000 feet, I think, which is comparable to Whitney, so I think we're ready. We actually got up quickly. There were clouds looming in the distance, but nothing to keep us from going up, and there was a tour group
that had guides and pack mules carrying all their tents and food and all that. It kind of seems like cheating, but 13.2 is nothing to look down on. So, kudos to them.
So I figured if the guides were letting them go, we were safe. I wasn't worried about the weather. We stood on top. They actually had a sign on top, which is fun because they never have signs on these passes. I'm actually thinking of doing a Kickstarter campaign to put signs on the top of the passes because there's nothing worse than climbing up to the top and there's nothing there to even mark how high you went or take a picture with. Anyway, I digress. We go down steep downhill, and the clouds really start to roll in. We decided to put our pack covers on our packs, which are great because they keep the pack waterproof without you having to walk around in a bulky poncho like I did on the Inca Trail. So we keep walking, it starts raining a little bit, and we're kind of on a sandy ridge, no tree cover, no nothing. And then I hear some thunder, it starts raining really hard, and I booked it out of there.
Somewhere out in that terrible mess of dark clouds is Mount Whitney. But, so that loud noise and probably the shaking of the hands of our brave camera woman would indicate that we have a storm that has gone through this valley and actually hit the pass that we went over about a half an hour after we got off of it. And so we walked through the rain, and Jennifer's been very brave because there's nothing she likes less than thunder and lightning.
So we start climbing up to what they call Bighorn Plateau, which I thought was just a little bare spot on the top of a mountain that we could just go up and over really quick. As we start to get up to the top of Bighorn Plateau, the clouds are darker and it's starting to rain, and I realize that it's a huge flat plain with nothing high at all. And I had to read the lightning safety manual, and I know that that's not a safe place to be. Brandon said, just put your head down and go. So I put my head down and I just hiked, alternated by little jogs here and there. Thank goodness it was flat and it was sandy, it wasn't rocky, because it was safe for me to be hiking that fast. Lightning, I just feel like it could just come and get me at any time. So I was very scared, too scared to cry, just put my head down and went, and we just booked it down into another valley where I felt safer, and we found a beautiful campsite by a river, put up the tent, and then, of course, we put up the tent and it stopped raining. We are in the tent. You can see it's a classy establishment with laundry hanging about.
This is not a good smelling place to be at the moment.
No, these are my night socks, and they're like practically brown because my feet are so dirty. That's disgusting. And with that, I'll let you go.
The area around Mount Whitney, you cannot go to the bathroom in the outdoors. You have to use a plastic bag. And
Once you pass the poop meridian.
Yes. And
Trademark pending on that. We just walk a little bit to Guitar Lake, camp at Guitar Lake with a million other people ready to do Whitney, and then Whitney will be ours, hopefully with blue skies.
On top Mount Whitney with the John Muir crew. On top Mount Whitney with a bag full of poo. On top Mount Whitney, don't you wish you were too? On top Mount Whitney.
the actual hardest part was more the mental piece of it, having to get up at 5 something in the morning, sore, tired, cold, and strap everything back onto your back and keep going. I don't think I was as prepared for that part as I was the physical part.
I became very proud of the fact to leave no trace, and that we weren't burying toilet paper, that we weren't using soap in lakes. Brandon says our pants stretched out, but I'll tell you, he looks like he lost probably at least 10 pounds. Just trying to adjust back into normal life and day-to-day life without losing the what you gained out here. I don't want to just jump back into having my iPhone in front of my face all the time. It made me really much more brave. You have to just suck it up and deal with stuff. But I'll be really proud of us. I'm sad, a little sad it's over. I'm over it. I'm ready to go home, but it's been great.
On top of Mount Whitney, don't you wish you were too? On top of Mount Whitney, with the John Muir crew.
We're a really, really good team. Like, I don't know how many people could be in the wilderness for 17 days together, relying just on each other and not flip out on each other. On top of Mount Whitney, with the John Muir crew. On top of Mount Whitney, with the Devils crew. On top of Mount Whitney, don't you wish you were too? On top of Mount Whitney, Brandifer crew.
Picking up stories